And joining me now is PR Council's Managing Director, Christy McSweeney, and here in the man cave, a lady, Gemma Tognini of GT Communications. Hey, thanks so much, both of you guys, for joining me this evening here. We've got to start off, We've got to start off, though, talking about this whole trip to China and the morally neutral way in which Anthony Albanese has characterized this trip, as if it's just all about doing business, as if there weren't all sorts of other geopolitics and foreign policies, and really a clash of values system all operating in the background. Here's a little bit of Anthony Albanese in Shanghai today.
It's a great honour to represent Australia in international forums, and this is an important engagement that we will have. And the fact that I am leading a very large business delegation speaks to the importance of the economic relationship between Australia and China.
Gemma Tognini, I want to start with you. It seems to me that there's an incredible amount of naivete, forced naivete perhaps, on the part of the Prime Minister here, because he is visiting a totalitarian country run by the Chinese Communist Party, which has designs on being a regional, if not a global hegemon. That is, to be the dominant superpower in the Pacific, if not around the world, something which has, of course, huge implications for us. Now, he's telling us that this is just all about jobs, but I feel like that's leaving me and an awful lot of people cold, because where is this moral leadership that Anthony Albanese likes to talk about when it comes to Australia?
Well, it's not possible to lead from a moral perspective when you actually don't stand for anything. And I don't say that to be trite. I genuinely don't. You take that grab that we just saw a minute ago. It is utterly unconvincing. It was kind of like your regional Australia. And we love regional Australia here at Sky, don't get me wrong, but he's the Prime Minister of Australia, and there is nothing even closely resembling gravitas, let alone leadership. It's like, hey, I'm here with the guys from the Midwest of WA, and we're going to go meet with some people about some jobs in China. Is he going to talk to the Chinese government about its intents towards Taiwan? Is he going to talk about the Uyghurs? Is he going to talk about any number of things that are elevated above the level at which he seems only capable of operating? We talk so much about, ceilings, glass and otherwise, but it seems to me that the Prime Minister has this ceiling that he's just not capable of rising through from a leadership perspective. And
Christy McSweeney, I mean, here we have this huge Australian delegation. Now, I am fairly sure that DFAT would have advised everybody, including the Prime Minister, do not bring your real phone. We will give you some sort of burner communication devices because, of course, China is going to be spying on all of your devices and everything while you are there for 6 days. And yet we have this sort of, which gives us, in fact, this huge sort of elephant in the room about the nature of the Chinese regime. To me, and I don't know, tell me if I'm being unfair here, but this seems really cringe, to use a word, the way that Albanese is saying, oh, no, everything's fine here. These guys are great. We can all be pals. We can all make money. While at the same time, as I said in my editorial, whenever it comes to the United States, giving them a big rhetorical whack for the domestic labor consumption.
It's certainly a tightrope. What I find really interesting is that this appears to be a confected reason to go to China. And there's a strategy behind why the Prime Minister wants to go now, in the middle of this impasse we have with the United States around raising our defence spending, like the rest of Europe has committed to do, and this impasse around how much we're contributing to the AUKUS, whether we're willing to have a conversation with the Americans to say, look, we're contributing a number of things in kind, the Defence West rotation, the Darwin Marines are based in the Northern Territory for 4 months of the year. There's things that we're doing that we haven't pointed out amid this conversation. We haven't had that mature conversation, and I'll credit Andrew Hastie with that line. But I'm going to let you in on a little secret here. The only announcement that I can see that the Prime Minister has put on the table for a reason to go to China is an announcement between a new agreement between Tourism Australia and Trip.com. Now, that is a very small fry announcement that's usually reserved for the Regional General Manager of Tourism Australia based in China. It does not ever warrant a prime ministerial and business delegation visit. So they're really trying to lay it on quite thick, suggesting that that is a significant reason. And the other reason they're coming up with is, of course, to herald their success in restabilising the relationship with China that they so heavily lay at the feet of Simon Birmingham as a failure. Of course, you know, we don't actually think it was. Some quite good things came out of that. The coalition was responsible for executing the China-Australia Free Trade Agreement. So to make Gemma's point as well, that announcement that seems to be the linchpin of the trip, I will add to Gemma's comments about it is really not a lot of gravitas there that we're trying to pass off to the Australian public as to why we need to go to China right now in the middle of our United States issues.